Let's go for a drive. Hi, how are you guys doing? In today's video, I'm going to talk about another one of my experience here in Thailand. So today's video is about driving in Thailand. So let's start. Driving in Thailand, the driver's seat is on the right and the passenger seat is on the left. So we drive on the left side of the road. Things to remember are when cars are flashing at you, it means that you have to give way to them or get out of their way. You have to give way to the trucks behind. Always wear your seatbelt because there are checkpoints and the police stops cars and motorbikes to check on their helmets and seatbelts. And then also be careful of the motorbikes on your left because they might be running so fast. It happened to me once. Before turning left, I turned on my signal, but since the motorbike was running fast, he crashed onto my door, so my door has a little bend. I didn't report it because usually foreigners in Thailand are usually at fault. Anyways, all traffic signs are in Thai, and then the speed limit is 50 to 90 kilometers per hour. So to get a car, you have to have a Thai license, a Thai driving license. As for my case, I wasn't driving back home, so I didn't know how to drive because we didn't have a car. So I had to go study at the driving school here in Thailand, and most driving schools are in Thai. So if you want to go to a driving school, you have to look for someone that can speak a little bit of English. So I did that for 2 weeks, and then they gave me a certificate that I need to give to the Land and Transportation Office. Along with that, you have to have your passport with your visa on it, and then a work permit, a residence certificate, a medical certificate, and of course the fee. You have to pay a fee. I think it was like 500. And then you will have to take the test. There are at least 5 tests. 3 tests will just last for 20 minutes because these are just the colorblind test, reflex test, what's the other one? Depth perception test. You'll be aligning 2 things somewhere there. And then theory, that is the multiple choice. It's all in Thai. So usually if you're a foreigner, you have to get a translator for you to be able to answer that. And then the last part is the practical where you have to drive there. You have to do like parallel parking. You have to show that. You don't need to get a photo because they will take your photo there. You also have to be there at least 8:30 in the morning. There is no appointment, but if you get there early, you get the queue card. And then you also have a 1-hour seminar to show you a 2-hour seminar that shows how to drive. And then they give you a 1-year temporary license, which is after 1 year you can renew that, and they give you 5 years, and then that's renewable every 5 years thereafter. When you renew that, you need the same documents as when you have started, except that you don't need to take the multiple choice test anymore, and then you don't need to do the practical test. And then you pay, I think, 205 baht to renew that. But if you already have a license from the Philippines or from your home country, you just have to bring that, and along with your passport, with your visa, with your work permit, a residence certificate, medical certificate, and then you take the 3 tests I told you, which last for 20 minutes, which is the colorblind, reflex, and the depth perception test. And then you pay 205 baht, and then you get your driving license. ways on how to buy a car here in Thailand. You can buy a second-hand or a brand new. Ways to pay that is if you have cash. So if you have a cash of at least 500,000 up, you can buy a car. But if you don't have, you can also do financing, as what I have done. I did financing. You need to have a Thai guarantor. Then you also need your passport with your visa on it, your work permit, and then of course a down payment, and then your residence address. After you bought the car, you need to pay a compulsory insurance, and you need to pay a tax, annual tax. If the car you bought is more than 10 years, you need to always bring it to the garage to check for brakes, for the number, and the lights before you can go and pay for the tax, annual tax registration. The tax will depend on the size of your car, size of the engine of your car. So for a car like mine, I pay 1,400 for this car. But if you will have a pickup or 4x4, that usually range from 7,000, I think 7,000 up. Yes, including your insurance, it will be about 10,000 yearly. The question asked to me was, will you recommend buying a car in Thailand? Well, that will depend on how you weigh your expenses. If your expenses commuting are more than buying a car, then I think buying a car would be the cheapest way to go. The good thing about buying a car is, if for example you bought a car for 250,000 baht, even after a year or 2 years, the price are almost the same, or I mean you can get your money back, although the price will be lower, but you get your money back. It's almost the same price. Like I had a previous car which is a Honda Jazz. It was 250,000. So after a year, I sold it for 220,000. The longer term you will be staying here in Thailand, of course, it would be cheaper to buy a car than commuting. And also it depends on your convenience. I mean, if it's more convenient for you to be driving a car, then why not? I think the cheapest way to go is for a motorcycle if you're just going back to school and back home, because you can buy a second hand for 17,000. After 2 years, when you go back home, you can sell it for 10,000. So you just spend like 7,000 rather than spending 3,000 every month for a motorbike taxi. The reason why I bought a car is because my workplace was 8 kilometers away from my house. And if I were to rent a house near my workplace, it was like 7,000 a month for a room. I had to pay every month for 7,000. So when I went farther away from the school, it was 3,500. So I save half of it every month. Basically, in my opinion, if you'd be here for the long term, like 5 years, 3 years up, 3 to 5 years, buying a car is cheaper. But if you're going to stay in Bangkok, I think Bangkok you don't really need a car, because first of all, it's traffic. There are a lot of subways, there are a lot of trains that you can use instead of using the car. It's difficult to find a parking area. Yes, and good thing also about having a car is you can go anywhere. You can go travel anywhere where you want to. That's it, guys. I do hope you find this information useful, and please do support my channel. I do tips about working in Thailand, and also ESL activities from my students, and I hope you enjoy my videos, and I hope to see you again next time.